Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for another brand new video and we are here for a cheeky little Rangers roundup, which means something big or something major might have just happened regarding the Rangers space, and we are uploading midweek to go ahead and discuss it. You know what I mean, the OGs of the channels will remember the Rangers roundups sometimes fondly because on occasion most of these were either a mad statement from the club or a manager getting sacked, but on the very rare occasion it was good news we all seem to enjoy the old Rangers roundup. So strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen, and the longer you watch today's video the more you'll see me tip to one of those sides as we're here to talk about the biggest news regarding our football club, and that is this takeover. Now I know I'm a wee bit late to this one, you know what I mean, I'm getting older, I'm getting slower, ladies and gentlemen, but also truthfully we posted a video yesterday and it was my anniversary with the missus, so if I posted another video on the same day it'd probably been my last anniversary, if you know what I'm saying. And also I just wanted to take a wee bit of time, right, because obviously the initial excitement all comes out, everyone's buzzing, they're all doing their memes, they're all doing their jokes, they're all that, so I just wanted to take a wee breath. I wanted to actually read in to the story, I wanted to read in to the individuals the best way I can. Again, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an expert, I'm not going to give you a complete tactical breakdown of what this could potentially be, but I'm a Rangers fan. I have tried to read into it, so what we're going to do today, ladies and gentlemen, is look at this rumour the same way we would do if it was rumoured to be a player. We're going to kick the old tires, we're going to check this story, we're going to check what could change, what can happen, what can't happen. So it's an interesting one, so let's go ahead and talk about it. And I guess I should start at the beginning then, shall we? Because there will be some people that know the story, some people don't. Apparently, ladies and gentlemen, there is an American sports consortium that's closing in on a takeover of Rangers Football Club, which has obviously got a lot of people excited because there's some money there. There's billions, there's millions, there's trillions, as Dr. Evil would say. So there is that excitement, and some people reporting the deal is very close. How close? Well, it depends on the sources. There's a certain source out there that says that deal is imminent and it'll be announced very soon. Well, also there's others out there that seemingly understand that these deals are never over like that, despite apparently the conversation's been going over the last couple months, and that maybe explains why so many people's left the club without being replaced. It also maybe gives a big underline of what we talked about when we announced Patrick Stewart as the CEO. What was his speciality? What did he do previously at his club? It was handling a takeover of Manchester United, getting the club ready for that. That was the best thing he was credited for from his previous job. We already broke that down. So a lot of the interesting pieces and a lot of the interesting things we've done over the last couple of months certainly begins to make more sense if this all ends up being not only true but also goes and happens. You can understand why people's left and then no being replaced. You can understand why Patrick Stewart's been brought in to oversee this. You can understand maybe why we've not made a decision on Phil Clement right now, because again, if there is going to be potential owners, if this is going to drag on for a few months, you need somebody just to be there, the new, and then when the new owners come in or the takeover does happen, there can be a conversation to happen that could happen in the summer. All the wee myths and all the wee irks and all the wee irritations start to make sense if this deal goes through. But again, I know everyone's clickbaiting this everywhere that the deal's imminent and the deal's this and everything. I certainly hope that's right, but again, from my reading into these types of things and not only looking at the Manchester United takeover holding, when obviously our previous CEO, or our CEO was previously there in Man United, but looking at Newcastle, looking at all these other teams, these things can sometimes take a bit of time. So I don't think I'm going to be sitting here wearing nothing but a 49ers hat announcing the takeover anytime soon. Sorry to those I've annoyed. But again, I'm not an expert in any of these things. It might be done quick, it would be very nice, but seeing the other examples that's over the last couple of years, especially people with even involved with Patrick Stewart, sometimes it can drag on a wee bit longer. So if you didn't hear anything for about it for a wee while, don't worry or don't panic. The biggest thing you can take away is that Rangers has let this story go out without a spokesperson coming out here and saying no, it's not happening. The talks are progressing very well, the talks are going well, and that's where we are right frickin' now. So hopefully they can complete and be very happy. But instead of just talking about whether the deal's going to happen soon or the deal's going to do this, let's actually talk about who the deal involves then, shall we? Sort of unclog that mystery and start to paint a wee bit of the picture then, shall we? Because the 49ers reference we've already made might have went air a couple of people's heads, and there is a wee bit of misinformation that we're getting into bed with the owner of the San Francisco 49ers with the £5.5 million, and that's a little bit sprinkled out there, but that's not entirely true either. The man who is spearheading this takeover and is going to be a part of this change at the football club apparently is Parag Marathe, who is not the owner of the San Francisco 49ers. He is the president of the 49ers Enterprises and the football VP of operations, which does sound like the most American name or American tag you could ever put with anybody according to sport, but that is his tag, that is his title. He is the right hand man to the old billionaire, and a man who's made a hell of a lot of money on his own right as well over the last 24 years, working his way through the organisation at 49ers and sprinkling out there, making money elsewhere with his commercial deals, and also another football club which we'll speak about, as apparently he's a very, very clever man. But where I'm not going to sit here and pretend that he's a well-known name and we've all heard of him before that, despite his great work and great achievements at the San Francisco 49ers, most people in the UK again know him for his work down south, down in England, because of a very similar blueprint that apparently might be happening with our club that happened down at Leeds, down at the old Ellen Road, where your boys went ahead and scored a header just like his hero Ali McCoy's. Well, that is where he is also the chairman of, which has brought a lot of other questions which we will answer in the next couple of minutes. But his work at Leeds is also a prime example of what could potentially be happening at our football club, as he bought in to the football club, stabilised a bleeding mess of a club, and slowly over the span of 5 years took over the rest of it and became the sole chairman of it, steadied the ship, broke new revenue ground, if you will, and it got these landmark deals that again we will speak about in the next couple of minutes, but also more importantly stabilised the football club and got them going in the right direction, running the club properly to where they now sit at the top of the championship and should make it back to the Premier League based on the stability that's been brought into the club, the right transfers, the right players, and just tidying up a house that was sort of on fire after being relegated from the Premier League. So there's good work that's been done right there, and there's a shining example just down in England. But his time at Leeds has also given us a perfect little preview of what it could potentially be like at Rangers, because he's not a big sugar daddy, you know what I mean? He's not going to be a silent investor that's just there to chuck some money in there and he'll just be in the background and he'll let other people tidy up messes and let other people do it. He's not that type of owner. I know some people want him to be just Daddy Warbucks, just chucking it, and we're just like wee Annie, we are wee ginger afro loving every bit of it, but that's not really what he's about. He's a very, very hands-on owner that gets involved in every single aspect, and again reshapes clubs, brings in his own guys if it needs to be done, and tidies things up to work the way he wants it to work. And that's worked well at Leeds, as we've already mentioned. But something again that he is heavily praised for is his front shirt sponsor with the old Red Bull that he got down at Leeds, which is apparently a landmark deal and has brought in a ridiculous amount of money to that football club, not only with the initial deal signing on the dotted line, but bringing in a commercial stream of success over the next couple of years of revenue that just funnels money into the club. It's a great apparent deal that he sorted, and I would love one of them, please, at the football club. Please bring in partners and sponsorships. This can just chuck money at us. I really need it. Sorry, I got a wee bit emotional there thinking of the money coming in to the club, because my God, it's been too long. But steadying myself, that landmark deal, that first of its kind in England, that record revenue that type of deal has brought in, amongst other deals that he's brought in with his commercial deals and his advertisements and his contacts that he's got, has obviously made a clear difference in the way Leeds clubs goes about their business, not only stabilising it but bringing in revenue, which I do find very interesting, because again it tells you exactly what he is and what he isn't. You know what I mean? If he was just one of those guys that was there to chuck money and everything, just bang, 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 that would be great. Honestly, would be, but it wouldn't maybe necessarily fix the mess that our club is in, because we all know it's a mess, and not just a new owner or a takeover will fix that. It also needs to be set in place to actually run successfully, instead of running on losses every year. 17 million, all these mad losses right here. The fact that he's came into a club and not only stabilised it but fixed the old books, if you will, legally, of course, and also brought in money from elsewhere and generated money that wasn't there before to, again, guarantee success going forward, is all stuff you want to hear for an owner, and it's better than just a blank check style owner, in my opinion. He gets involved, he tidies up, and he brings in some money whilst also already having money there if it needs to be spent. I don't see much downside. And as we do transition away from maybe just the man himself, we're now going to speak about the way this could work out, the way the takeover could happen. What does he need to do right away? What does he not need to do? And obviously how it shapes our club. If you do want to know pretty much every single detail about this potential new owner of the football club, or a guy that's going to buy in then eventually become the owner, I'll leave a link down in the description that has a very fantastic bio from the 49ers that really explains everything about this lad. Not only what we've talked about so far here about his time at Leeds and everything like that, but really dives in to his other ventures as well, and cricket and other sports and all this ridiculous money he's made here, there and everywhere, along with his great work that he's done at the 49ers, working his way from the bottom through 24 years all the way up there to be the second man in the old building, right hand man to the billionaire, and running just every sort of aspect of a football club inside and out, both UK football and the old American football, if you will. It really is expanding, and it gives you more information than I'll ever be able to do. So if you are interested, after this video, just scroll down and you can read more about the laddie and all his details and all his ventures. But again, we are going to move away from that, and I do want to talk about what this could mean for the football club, as we've sort of touched on it, so we're not going to go too deep into this one, because again, he isn't a blank check manager. This doesn't mean that we're going to have a team like this next year. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to be running in there, and I know what everyone's saying, how the hell is Gavardio getting a Jeffy? I don't know, but I didn't expect worldwide change. I'm not expecting a Dutch revolution under Dick Advocaat, if you actually, well, that's not what I'm expecting to happen right away. What I'm actually expecting us is to, again, stabilise this club, stop the ridiculous bleeding, open up new avenues for commercial and advertising and money to come in from there, open up over there so we can go over to America and open up sort of our relations over there to start funneling money in for there as well, just to raise our profile, which is already worldwide. But again, with the right people, with the right experience, that avenue of revenue that could be coming at this club could be a lot more than what we actually have right now, which again isn't working, as we seemingly take one step forward and two steps back in pretty much every single business adventure we do. You could really argue this move that we're getting is a massive upgrade on what James Bisgrove tried to do during his record-breaking revenue streams at Rangers, but also we're getting someone that knows how to run a football club and run a sports organisation and handle that side along with the business, and that for me is very, very exciting, because it's not either or anymore, which is sort of what it's felt like for far too long. As I feel like we've not done this and we've done all these wrongs, we've done this mistakes. Well, now we're getting someone who again has continually shown every single time he has been invested into a club or invested into a sport or an organisation, if you want to get the old Americanisms, he has sorted it out and put out the fires, sorted out the mess, and made them a profitable football club, and again put them in the right direction. Obviously there's going to be money there, obviously we'll make some signings, but see the fact that we're going to stop the bleeding, you know, we were going to plug those holes in the ship, and we're not just going to be a mess off the park now, making continuous mistakes after mistake after mistake. This potentially could be very great for this football club, and could potentially be everything that we have been badly needing at this club for far too long. So it's all that stuff. I know it might not be sexy to you, because everybody wants them Mbappes and all this stuff signing for the club, and I get it, it's all fun jokes and everything like that, but see, just tidying up everything and stopping the bleeding and bringing in more money to this club so it's more sustainable and everything like that. It's no sexy, but by God is it what's needed. You tidy up that mess off the park, you'll start seeing a lot less messes on the park, in my opinion. And again, I said in yesterday's video, I believe shit runs doing hell for too long. The people, maybe with the greatest intentions, and look, there is people in that board and shareholders and that spent money despite the losses now, right? And I'm not digging into them and calling in, but there's been too many people in and around the building that's not really done the right things for this football club, as the old Texas Chainsaw Massacre again is outside, right? We have needed something like this for far too long, somebody to come in and tidy up the ship, and that's what's exciting to me. That's where I want this to really happen, and this is where I hope that it does eventually get over the line, because by God do we need this just as much on the park as we do off it. But again, moving away from that and getting into maybe more of the deal aspect, because I do see a lot of people saying, well, you're talking about Leeds here, right? You're talking about a chairman. How can he do that then and also be the chairman of Rangers, or do this and everything? Is that even legal and everything like that? Well, yes it is, ladies and gentlemen. And I do think that thinking, which again, I'm not talking doing, is maybe a wee bit older in the old football, you know what I mean? About 10, 15 years ago it wasn't pretty common, but what you're seeing over the last 5 to 10 years, it's becoming increasingly common for chairmen of one club to heavily invest in another and maximise that revenue. Well, that revenue comes in, blah blah blah. All these rich people find ways to make more money, and you're seeing it a lot in football these days. Being a chairman of this club, but also owning a hell of a lot another one and bringing in double that old value, ladies and gentlemen. It not only happens down in England, it doesn't just happen in Spain and France and Italy and everything like that. It's also now beginning to happen in Scotland as well, not only with our potential deal that could be again done over the next couple of months, but it's already happening with Hibs and Bournemouth right now, and that's a perfect wee example of that. Again, maybe not to the scale of what could potentially be with Rangers and what it's sounding like it will be, again coming in trying to follow the blueprint of Leeds, buying in and then slowly but surely over the span of years take over the rest, etc., and buy out pretty much everyone to get a complete stake. But again, Rangers' shares are so heavily diluted. I think Dave King, who is the major shareholder, only owns about 13%. But again, I'm no a lawyer, I'm no a business expert, and I never pretend to be. I'm just a football fan who's read a hell of a lot in the last 24 hours to give you the best information I can. And as far as everything I can see, the plan and the blueprint and the stuff that he's tried to do at Leeds, or he has done at Leeds, shouldn't have any issues up here at Rangers either. And there might be a decision that's eventually made about which one who obviously wants the chairman, or if he's going to put someone else in charge, etc., etc. for our club. It could be something along that way, but there is nothing stopping this man legally from investing into this football club and buying some shares. So aye, to put out any of those fires, I think they're put out, but again, it's just me saying it. And I feel like that's me getting towards the end of the video, because again, it is still a rumour right now, and this could take a few months. We could be talking about this again in the summer, maybe even possibly slightly after that. I'm fingers crossed, and it should be done by the summer as far as the way I'm sort of timescaling or trying to do it in my brain. Hopefully it is done in the summer, but again, nothing is ever done till it's signed and completed on paper, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm not going to go even further into this and talk about this and this and this. This is what it could potentially be. We've treated it like a Rangers rumour in terms of a player, because it is still a Rangers rumour right now, despite Rangers not rubbishing it and not talking to doing, which again also does pretty much confirm the talks are happening. It's not yet complete just yet. I've explained a lot of reasons why I believe it should happen and it needs to happen, and it's exciting, absolutely, but again, until it's all done and dusted, we're not going to go too heavily into this one and celebrate and get the old top off. We'll save that maybe for maybe April, May, or even some June, when we might be confirming this one to be all done and dusted. But again, it is heavily Rangers news. I do like to talk about it. I do feel like this was worth mentioning, and I just want to know what your thoughts and opinions are. Is this what we've been needing, ladies and gentlemen? Again, I'm not an expert in any of these things, but what I've read is a guy over the last 24 years building his way up pretty much for nothing, being the right hand man to a guy worth nearly 6 billion that runs all of his business, that's made himself absolute minted from running all these types of things, and every adventure I seemingly go to, he seemingly makes the club and himself a hell of a lot of money, and it makes them all profitable, which is exactly what this club needs to be. Again, it's not going to be an overnight fix and we're going to be back to this, we're not going to be winning Champions Leagues or anything like that, but to get our club some pride back and stop all the mess and stop all this embarrassment, I don't think we could do much better than a guy who's got a proven track history of fixing the glaring issues that we've got at our club. And it is a pretty exciting one for me, and it is certainly one I hope goes ahead to happen, as something needs to happen with this club, because it's bad on the park, but it's even worse off it. And it does explain a lot of the decisions again we've made with a lot of people leaving, not replacing. Patrick Stewart's experience with that, this review, getting everything ready, sets up to maybe be a smooth transition for the takeover. This one's a double thumbs up for me, and I really hope it happens, ladies and gentlemen. What about you? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there in the old comment section below. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's me all done and dusted. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there, and as always, I've been Siege over 92. I'll see y'all in the future. All the best, and bye bye.